Google Slides is the Microsoft PowerPoint of the Google ecosystem, and we're going to walk through some of the basic features and functions of the product today. Now first, you're going to want to navigate to the Google Drive interface. From within there, you'll notice I've navigated to the Personal folder. Now I can create a new file by clicking the blue New button and then Google Slides, or I can open up an existing one by simply double-clicking on a presentation. It's going to open up in a new window. And while the user interface is a little bit different than Microsoft PowerPoint, a lot of the same features and functions, especially the core ones, are going to be roughly the same. Now on the top left-hand side, I've got the Slides Home button. Now anytime I click on that, it's going to take me to the Slides Home menu where I have the ability to create a new presentation from some of the templates, or I can open up an existing one. Now that I'm back in my presentation, let's rename this. So I'm going to change it from Test Presentation to Test Presentation for Keynote. I can star the presentation if I want to quickly find this document from the Starred menu inside Google Drive. Let's just jump back and have a look at what that looks like. In Google Drive, you'll notice just like your email, there's a starred menu on the left-hand side. Anything that I've starred is going to show up there. It's almost like a recent items or a favorites list from your browser. Let's jump back to the document. And to the right of the Starred option, I have the ability to move or organize this file elsewhere in Google Drive. I'm going to leave it here for now, but I could move it anywhere in Google Drive. On the left-hand side, I've got the File, Edit, and View menus, and these are very similar to what you'd find in all of the other Google Suite products. From the File menu, I can share, I can create a new document, I can open one, I can rename this one, I can make a copy, I can move it somewhere, I can move it to trash. And remember, when you move something to your trash, it doesn't automatically expunge it after 30 days. You actually have to go out and delete it from the trash or empty your entire trash bin. I can import slides from a Microsoft formatted document. I can see revision history, and if I open revision history up, we haven't made a whole lot of changes, but I've got two that I can flip back and forth on. And if I wanted to restore it to this version, I've just clicked the Restore to this revision button. Let's jump back to the document. From the File menu again, I can change the language. I can download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint or any of the other formats that are listed here. I can publish it to the web. I can email anyone that has access to this document, or I can email this out as an attachment. Now this is a very helpful feature. If I click that, I can choose the file format, whether a PDF or a Microsoft formatted PowerPoint, and I can type in the email address of the person that I'd like to send this to. Choose my subject line, type the body of the message, and I can choose whether I'd like to send myself a copy, and then click Send. Back in the File menu, I can also view the document details. Now this will show me the location of the file, who the owner of the file is, as well as the last time it was modified and when it was created. If I go to Page Setup, I can choose the aspect ratio that I'd like to go with. Now by default, it's going to use 16:9, but I could choose 16:10, 4:3, or any custom format. Now custom is helpful if you're looking to use a format that might fit a phone in portrait style or any other size or format of document. I can go to Print Settings and Preview, or last but not least, I can print the document out. Under Edit, I have the ability to undo, redo, cut, copy, paste. I can paste without formatting, which is a really handy feature if you want to strip out any text formatting that is in the original location that you're copying the text from. So if you're copying text from an email or another document and you don't want the formatting from the font to come over, or whether it's bold or not, this will strip all of that out when you choose this option. I can also do Find and Replace or Select All. Now under View, I have the ability to hit Present. You'll also notice the Present button is up on the right-hand side. I can view animations, I can view my master, I can choose the size, whether I'd like to fit this to the screen or zoom in. I can choose whether I'd like to snap to the grid or the guides. I can view an HTML version of this, which would be a web-friendly version, or I can go full screen. Now, one thing to note is that when I go Present, it will automatically switch me to full screen mode. Under Insert, this is where you would add text boxes or images or charts. from Google Sheets or something contained just within this document. You can embed videos or links or word art or lines or various types of shapes. You can also attach animation to your slides themselves or to components of slides, just like you would in Microsoft Office. Just like in other types of documents, I can add comments that other people can collaborate on. And so let's have a look at how that works. So let's do that. Let's get someone else to jump in the document with me. And it looks like Nicole's joined me. I can see that from her icon on the top right. If I choose Insert and Comment, or I could right click and go Comment, or I could go More, or I could click on the comment icon on the menu bar. Let's add a comment for Nicole. Once I click the comment button, it's going to send her a notification and it's going to pop up on her screen. Now, she can click on that and she can respond back to me. Even though she's not in the same room, her comment will pop up in real time. So Nicole thinks we should add some background information, so let's do that. Now I can comment back to Nicole by clicking on her comment and choosing the reply option. Once she's happy with what I've stated, she can simply click on the resolve button and the comments will disappear. We can always go back to view the comment history by clicking on the comments button. Now back on the insert menu, I can add a new slide or I can import slides from another document, whether a Microsoft format or a Google slide. So the new slide option will create a new blank slide. The import slides option gives me the ability to import slides from another presentation, whether it's a PowerPoint based presentation or a Google Slides based presentation. So let's add a new slide and let's add some content to it. Let's add a bulleted list. Under the More option, I'm going to choose Bulleted List. And perhaps I want to add some extra spacing here. We can choose whether something's bold or italicized. We can adjust the font size and even the color. Now when you're working on a slide, it's often handy to make copies of your slides once you've come up with a format that you'd like to use. To do this, I can just right click and go Duplicate Slide. I can do that as many times as I need to. Now I'd like to get some feedback from Nicole here, so let's click on the heading, choose Insert, Comment. Now on Nicole's side, she can add a comment and she can also make changes to the slide in real time. Great, so Nicole's going to make some changes for me. I could choose Reply and Resolve. Now Nicole can make her own changes to the document. As you can see, all of these changes are happening in real time. Now if I jump onto another slide, I won't be able to see the changes in real time, but I can see that Nicole's working on another slide. This works very well when you've got multiple people collaborating on one presentation. While she's working on that slide, I can choose Change Transition, Add Transition, and maybe we want to fade this one in. That's what that's going to look like. You can also add transitions to various items within a slide. You can do that by right-clicking and choosing Animate, or Insert Animation. So here we can fade in by paragraph. Let's see what that looks like. This way, after every return key on the keyboard, it's bringing up a new point for me. That looks good. Let's go with it. Let's go back and have a look at the changes that Nicole made. Perfect. Looks good to me. I may also want to add some speaker notes in at the bottom, and that can be done on any slide. Under the slide menu, I can insert a new slide, duplicate slide, or delete a slide. I can change the background if I wanted to update the color. I can also apply a layout type. I can also apply a layout style that I'd like to go with on this slide. Under the Format menu, I've got all sorts of formatting options, from spacing to font to what we want our text to look like, to fill color and lines. Next, let's move over to Arrange. Now, under Arrange, I can choose the order in which layers will show up on the slide itself. So if we were to insert shape, we might want to move the shape to the back, and we do that from Arrange, Order, Send to Back. You can also choose whether to center something on a page horizontally or vertically, to rotate it, to group items. You can also choose to center something on the page or to rotate it. Under the Tools menu, we can do spelling, we can do some research. I can also do speech to text if I'd like to add speaker notes using transcription. You can adjust your preferences, or you can insert a table. Now, moving over to the right-hand side, now when you're ready to present, you can simply click the Present button. If someone else is doing the presentation or it's being presented on another computer, you can simply copy and paste the address from the address bar, or you can click File, Email Collaborators, and you can send it to anyone else that may have access to the file. This will give them a link that they can click on. You can also navigate to the file using Google Drive and open this up on any computer, as long as the person already has access. Last but not least, if you need to get the presentation into another format, simply click File, Download As, and choose the format that you'd like. Generally speaking, Microsoft PowerPoint is a pretty safe format to use, but you might also want to use a PDF.